This section is on ratios, and you will learn how to solve word problems using ratios. What is a ratio? A ratio is a way of describing how people or objects can be divided into groups. If we say that the ratio of marbles to playing cards is 3 to 4, we do not necessarily mean that there are exactly 3 marbles and exactly 4 playing cards. We mean that the fraction made from the number of marbles and the number of playing cards will reduce to 3 over 4. Example 1. The ratio of boys to girls in a history class is 3 to 2. The total number of students in class is 35. How many girls are in the class? And secondly, what fraction of the class is composed of girls? The number of boys is 3x, while the number of girls is 2x. Those expressions come from the ratio of 3 to 2, but remember the ratio is not the same thing as the number. To find the number, we take the figure associated with the ratio multiplied by x. Because 3 is the number associated with the ratio of boys, that's the number of boys is 3x. Because 2 is the number associated with the ratio for girls, the number of girls is 2x. The total number of students in the class is 35. This gives 3x plus 2x equals 35. 5x equals 35 and x equals 7. Remember, in problems like this, you are not necessarily solving for x. We're asked how many girls are in the class. That's not x, that's 2x. The number of girls is 2x equals 2 times 7 equals 14. The fraction of girls in the class is the number of girls divided by the total number of students. That's 14 over 35. If we divide both numerator and denominator by 7, this reduces to 2 over 5. Example 2. Much to the surprise of his ebullient parents, Charlie worked assiduously cleaning his room. He had 36 bags of trash sorted for recycling. There were 3 kinds of trash: aluminum cans, styrofoam fast food containers, and old homework papers. The types of trash were in a 9 to 8 to 1 ratio. How many bags of each kind of trash did he have? Recall that we are using the figures in the ratio to write algebraic expressions for the numbers of bags of trash. The ratio 9 is, the number 9 in the ratio is associated with aluminum cans. Therefore, the number of bags of aluminum cans is 9 times x. The 8 in the ratio of 9 to 8 to 1 is associated with the bags of styrofoam containers. The number of bags of styrofoam containers is 8x. The bags of old homework papers is 1x. The total bags of trash is 9x plus 8x plus 1x equals 36. Simplifying gives 18x equals 36. Dividing by 18 on both sides gives x equals 2. Recall that we're not solving for x. We're trying to find the number of bags of each kind of trash. The bags of aluminum cans equals 9x, which equals 9 times 2, which is 18. The bags of styrofoam containers is 8x, which is 8 times 2, which equals 16. The bags of old homework papers is 1 times 2, which is 2. Note that 18 plus 16 plus 2 add to 36, the total number of trash bags. Example 3. Solving more difficult ratio problems. The ratio of boys to girls on a volleyball team was 4 to 3. 2 girls joined the team and the ratio is now 1 to 1. How many players are on the team now? The number of boys on the team now is 4x. The number of girls on the team now is 3x plus 2. Since the number of boys equals the number of girls after the 2 girls join, set the 2 expressions equal to each other. 4x equals 3x plus 2. Solving gives x equals 2. Now we want to find the number of boys. That's 4x, which equals 4 times 2 equals 8. Recall that the number of girls is also 8. The total number of team members is 16. Example 4. Charlie and Josh went fishing. Charlie caught bass and bluegill, while Josh caught bluegill and perch. The ratio of bass to bluegills caught by Charlie was 3-2, while the ratio of bluegills to perch caught by Josh was 6-7. What was the ratio of bass to perch? Hint: the ratio is not 3-7. You cannot join ratios like that because it would be like adding fractions with different denominators. To be able to work with two separate ratios, the number for the item that both ratios have in common must be the same. Notice that both Charlie and Josh caught bluegills. In the first ratio, the number representing the bluegills is 2, while in the second ratio it is 6. The least common multiple of 2 and 6 is 6. Hence, to get the number of bluegills in the first ratio to equal 6, we multiply both terms in the first ratio by 3. 3-2, when you multiply each term by 3, becomes 9-6. Notice that the number representing the bluegills is now 6 in both expressions. We can now compare the ratios of 9-6 and 6-7. The ratio of bass to perch is 9-7. Practice problems. Pause the DVD after each problems. When you have practice problems. Pause the DVD after each problem. When you have found an answer, come back to check it. Practice problem 1. If the ratio of boys to girls in a calculus class is 5-3, and there are a total of 32 students, how many of the students are girls? Answer to practice problem 1, the answer is 12. 5x plus 3x equals 32. That gives 8x equals 32. Dividing both sides by 8 gives x equals 4. The number of girls is 3x, which is 3 times 4 equals 12. Practice problem 2. There are 15 students in each of 3 classrooms. Since the rooms are of unequal size, the principal wants to move the students so that they are in a ratio of 5-3-1. What is the least number of students that he can move to achieve that ratio? The answer is 10. 5x plus 3x plus 1x equals 45, which is the total number of students. Simplifying gives 9x equals 45 and x equals 5. Room 1 should have 5x equals 5 times 5 equals 25 students. Room 2 should have 3x equals 3 times 5, which equals 15 students. Room 3 should have 5 students. The easiest way to get the proper ratio is to move 10 students from the smallest room to the largest room. Practice problem 3. Susan is arranging books on 3 shelves. She now has 10 books on each shelf. She wants the books, when shelved, to look like a pyramid with a ratio of 3-2-1. How many books should be on each shelf? What is the fewest number of books she could move to obtain this result? The answer to practice problem 3 is 5. Susan has a total of 30 books, that's 3 shelves with 10 books apiece, and a 3-2-1 ratio means that she has 15, 10, and 5 books on the shelf. The answer to practice problem 3 is 5. Recall that Susan has a total of 3 books, and a 3-2-1 ratio means that she has 15, 10, and 5 books on the shelf. The easiest way to get the desired ratio is to move 5 books from the bottom shelf to the top shelf. Practice problem 4. The ratio of male to female students at Jones College in 1990 was 3-2. By the year 2007, the number of female students increased by 500, while the number of male students remained the same. The ratio of males to females was now 1-1. How many students studied at Jones College in the year 2007? The answer is 3,000, and here's the explanation. The number of males in 2007 was 3x. The number of females in 2007 was 2x plus 500. Because those two terms are equal, the number of males equals the number of females, we can set the expressions equal to each other and get an equation of 3x equals 2x plus 500. Solving for x gives x equals 500. The number of males equals 3x, which is 3 times 500, or 1,500. The number of females will also be 1,500. Adding 1,500 plus 1,500 gives 3,000. Practice problem 5. The ratio of students to computers at River Heights High School was 4-1. Someone donated 600 computers so that each student could have his own computer. How many students were in the school? The answer is 800. The number of students equals 4x. The number of computers after the 600 computers were donated was 1x plus 600. Because the number of students now equals the number of computers, set those expressions equal to each other. 4x equals 1x plus 600. Subtract 1x from both sides, obtain 3x equals 600, divide both sides by 3, you get x equals 200. The number of students equals 4x equals 4 times 200, which is 800. Practice problem 6. Josh and his best friends Danny and John have autographs of hockey players. The ratio of Josh's autographs to Danny's autographs is 5-3, while the ratio of Danny's autographs to John's autographs is 6-11. What is the ratio of Josh's autographs to John's autographs? The answer to practice problem 6 is 10-11. Danny's number of autographs is what the two ratios have in common. In one ratio, this amount is represented by 3, and in the second ratio, it is represented by 6. The least common multiple is 6, therefore multiply the two numbers of the first ratio by 2 and get 10-6. The ratio of Josh's to John's autographs is therefore 10-11. Practice problem 7. Charlie, Rhonda, and Jeff work as ticket takers in a movie theater. Charlie and Rhonda collect tickets in a ratio of 4-1, while Rhonda and Jeff collect tickets in a ratio of 5-7. What is the ratio of tickets collected by Charlie and Jeff? The answer is 20-7. The common ratio is the number of tickets collected by Rhonda. The numbers representing the tickets she collects are 1 in the first ratio and 5 in the second. The least common multiple is 5. Multiply the numbers in the first ratio by 5 and get 20-5. Comparing this new ratio 20-5 with 5-7 gives a ratio of 20-7.